Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's Goon back again. Today, guys, yesterday I was being told that one of the guy who bought the land from Mwango, was told that whenever he can just check whatever Ginto is, you're going to be bringing much of the shenanigans and the telenovela. So today I was just passing through, and I want to be advising this kind of the demagogues once and for all, because I think about they're going to be coming for Ginto, hinging Ginto, A, B, C, D, and this is a warning to Mwango, and I want to be telling her this as a real, because they're going to be messing with the wrong person that she doesn't understand. Because she's going to be starting something I have never understood. Because she thinks about it the way I was at the villa, it's the way I have to react right now. The time she was ever coming to the villa and telling her, oh, Ginto, I want you to pay me this way. Right now, things are going to be getting worse. Because right now, everybody going to be developing her own stories and making it happen. Because I think of telling much of the people to attack me that I'm just passing through the way, I just a demagogic way and a very stupidical way. And to the real fact, don't use this kind of the small villagers thinking about, oh, because the person has sold your land. Right now, whenever things going to be happening to that kind of the small boy, talk about going to be attacking Ginto, then Ginto do something terrible. And do you know, understand that again they'll have to sell the whole of the land, and that is what they need. Why do you go and advise the young boys to talk about they have to go and fight, and yet you are the person who can talk about Ginto, this is my land, this is what I want to be doing here. If you want to talk about me this way. But don't lure this kind of the small boys whom you have already leaked a lot of liquor, and they're just going. Imagine yesterday whenever I shoot the video and the father to Ernesto talked about, oh, this kind of the boy gonna be coming to my home, is abusing me terribly, is doing miserable things at my home here. And yesterday again, the boy went because he was liquored too much. And right now, this kind of the small money and cheap money here, it's making them to be so rude right now in the village. And right now, they're just developing like is now the orient of the video. Imagine orient of the village and making sure that he's just chasing and also abusing the father like Safari. And also, the land that they're just living is from the same father they're just abusing at the same time. It's something which is very awkward, stupidical, nonsensical, and something which we have to change as soon as possible. If we don't change it, it's going to be a problem. Why do I say so? It's because of much of the terrible things that much of the people think about they're going to be developing. That you're talking about, oh, you know, you have to sell me this kind of the land, and whenever I give you the money, you tell the guys that, oh, you know, whatever this kind of the person brings this and this, and beat them or do whatever you want to do. They don't understand that they are beating their own money. They're just doing it, and they're just living at the same village. And they think about whenever this kind of the demagogic family, that they want to be living there, they will ever been getting the job. Look at what happened yesterday. Whenever I asked the brother to this kind of the guy who sold the land, that are you not getting the job? They talked about we were chased from there. The father was chased, and he thinks about whenever he be given this kind of the job, he's going to be working at it the way it's going to be. It's something which is very stupidical. And you understand right now, talk about the master KG himself, Maro, he has just taken his own time to talk about going to be going there and assessing this kind of the project, because there's no content right now. Everybody has to understand it. There's no content right now. So they're just making sure that they're just using this kind of the villagers. You understand? Last time, Amaro was crying was crying here like Rikareni was coming out like something else here, and he was being beaten with the villagers here, talking about we don't want the nonsense, because how can you go and controverse this kind of the family? Brothers to brothers fight, fathers to fathers fight, young children to fight, because of what? Because of money, which is very elusively you can just control it. And it is very stupidical whenever we have to come out and talk about this is not fair. Don't use the young generation in terms of liquor. Don't use the young generation in terms of beneficial of your own ego and your own jealousy about it. Let everybody do it if you want to be buying. And even yesterday, I just talked about the video here. I talked about, I went to the father and talked about how is the highway, because it was what was bringing the problem. I just solidized it very properly, very small. Talk about, okay, give us the road that we could just, your son could be accessing. Because when you sell a land, you have to sell, also you have to provide a road that will be delivering that kind of a person to where the home has been built or has purchased the plot to. Or even if it's your son, you have to show us that this is where your son is living, and the road to access your son's home, this is where it is. So when they sold the land, where was the road? I had to solidize it. And they want to use money and the power and talk about they're going to be having so much of the ego and much of their own chest to put forward. They talk about they're going to be having some policemen movements here and there, that is not a way of solidizing the village defects here. The fact is we should understand the real strategy, the real way of getting forward. And this is a warning to this kind of the Mwango. And I'm telling her as a fact, don't use the young boys here, tell them that, oh, I'm going to be luring you with talk about, oh, this is a stupid money is here and there, and talk about, I'm going to be buying you some liquor. And again, you are the person who is making the healthy papa. Why are you not drinking the liquor? Why are you giving this kind of the young generation the liquor? Chasing their fathers like a safari rally. You're thinking about, oh, this is the father, this is the son chasing the father. You think about their age mates. You think about their age set. And yet is the father and the son. The son is chasing the father like a safari rally. You think about they're in a marathon. And you're thinking about, oh, now you're doing something best to the village, which is stupidical and nonsensical thing ever possible. You have to change the attitude and the ego that, oh, don't think about your first lady to have money to the village here. Much of the people have it, they have just stood and don't think about now going to be luring this kind of the boys to attack Gintu. You cannot make it because Gintu is something else. And they're going to be dealing with you simultaneous with an immediate effect to make sure that everything is standard. And you have to report what comes to the village. Nobody will ever intimidate that, oh, Gintu is talking about this one, you have to intimidate me. That's just a longitudinal way for you to go. So keep it tuned and keep it locked because things are going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. I'm heading to Matiko's home. Already we have Ernest there, and also going to be checking on Matiko. I want to be giving him a job, talk about a permanent job to my home so I can just be working at my home and making it happen. Because right now, whenever we're going to be getting to this kind of the liquor system again, it's going to be a problem. So I don't want him to go back to such kind of a liquor system again because it has been used already and the bills were so high. I want to listen from them and understand how is it and how he has managed to come back home, because I always talk about that is the way we have to go forward at this kind of the fantastic caliber of the moment. So keep it tuned. Let's get there and hear what is really popping out at this kind of the essence of the time, so you can just understand it one-on-one live from this kind of the hospital movement of making it happen. But it's a warning today. Don't make it terrible and don't go further the way you think about going to be getting further. Things are changing at the environment. Keep it tuned. Salamu alaikum. Mambo iko chonjo. Baba nyakorogati. Godi. Mambo inda. Mambo inda. Niaje safi. Hata muhiri lero hano turna. Muhiri salamu alaikum.
Torengane rero.
Mocha torengane rigoro.
Patel.
Alaikum salam. Salam alaikum. Buda.
Buda.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Buda. Niaje. Mambo iko fiti? Mr. Nyangoko. Ya Kiore. Mambo iko fiti? Safi. Akia Mungu we. Okota cherande. Mambo iko sawa?
Mambo yanaenda poa.
Watu foi iko kwa? Mangana ngaiga chenchiri. Sasa. Miore bere TV.
Atakuwa tishiri.
Kanere ngara gani? 500. Niko na pesa ya gold lakini ni kesho. Nitakuja na kidogo.
Godi. Godi uko poa?
Guys, we are back to the system here. It's one-on-one live coverage that we're going to be making sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one. And due to unconditional circumstances for the people who have Eid al-Fitr and whatever they're going to be having, the Islamic, Assalamu alaikum, wherever you are. We appreciate and the condolences to everyone who has just been given much of the 2 shenanigans, 2-3 here. Everything going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one live, coming to cover it up. We have Mr. Matiko here. Mungu, my friend, I'm still not understanding. If this is the real you, still having a problem. Exactly. So, Mr. Safi. Mambo ko sawa sasa eh. Sasa uteremekele. Akia Mungu, even the pocket now is pocketing here. So, guys, we are back to the system here. I have Mr. Ernest is here. How is everything, man?
Guys, welcome back to It's Gintu channel, guys.
Wagwan.
Thank you so much for hosting me to your channel.
Exactly.
I thank God for this beautiful chance today.
Yeah, man.
Us meeting here as one community, as brothers.
Exactly.
Together, we succeed.
Together we can make it happen.
Together we can make it
exactly.
happen.
Which is called tomorrow is another day.
Yeah.
And
separate, you can divide things, they will not come together.
Exactly.
So, as you can see, we are at Matiko's compound.
Fantastic.
We came yesterday from Nairobi, and we arrived safely. And sincerely speaking, we were tired. So. The reason why I'm back here, yesterday I never met Matiko's dad.
Okay.
I never met Matiko's dad. I met Matiko's mom and we never talked. And Also, Matiko needs to start today medication. So that's why I have this medication here.
Oh, you have some medication. So you still persist with the medication?
Yeah, he's going with medication.
Oh.
And also, I've come because I want to give him this medication.
Yeah.
And again, I want to alert the
parents
that after 3 weeks from now, he will be going back to Nairobi for a clinic. He have 2 clinics. You know.
Why couldn't it be transferred to a certain area which is very near?
If we will go for the first one, then the doctor will recommend to any maybe Kisii,
facility,
any
closer
Kisii,
facility,
close place, so that. But the first one clinic, he must go back to Nairobi, where he was.
Okay.
So, and this medication, he's going to start from today.
So is it for the fix? Talk about the body or the problem you're gonna be having?
It's the problem that has been having.
Okay.
So you know that he was taking medication each and every day.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why after finishing these tablets are for 2 weeks.
Okay.
After finishing these tablets for 2 weeks, that 1 week we will try to see how the condition is.
The
going.
condition now.
And then now, because he will be finishing this medication, we will go back to Nairobi so that the doctor will comment how he's doing.
Exactly.
Then he will recommend the nearest place where he will go the last clinic.
Okay.
But I try to convince them so that they can refer us to Kisii because Kisii is near.
Is there rehab in Kisii?
I never asked if
the only thing is I think about if that kind of an area it's having much of the doctors and the people who can prescribe the medication, so it's either they can just write a scripture and a letter talking about it can be assessed with a doctor in a certain institution.
Yes, they say that how can I explain it? The doctor that started medication,
the medication,
yeah, he's the one to recommend.
He has to recommend.
Exactly. He's the one to write the recommendation letter, whereby we will go the second visit.
Exactly.
So
how long will it take?
After now 3 weeks.
No, after he goes there, then come back. Then will it
now
regularly?
I have not come with that card. I'll not come with that card. I think I will show that card how he's explaining, but I will show you that card.
So now you will be like now a machine, oil every time.
Yeah.
How many kilometers oil?
But the doctor said that after going those 2, he has only 2 clinics. But the one he must go to Nairobi, and then the second the doctor will refer where. But I told him to refer us to Kisii because Kisii is near.
Exactly.
If there's such a kind of a doctor like him to refer us there. So it's that Matiko. This is your medication. Zimeandika hapa. Woko.
I think it's prescribed one time what?
Yeah. So anakula hizi ni mbili after utiko. Vinanuvutiko rara mera.
Hata hiki ni kimoja kila siku.
Sawa umeona. So I'm handing over to Matiko this medication so that at least, and then the doctor told me that Matiko, let me be frank with you, that the doctor told us you were there. Doctor said that if Matiko he will happen to go back on taking liquor, Matiko, you not believe what will happen to you.
You lose your memory.
You lose your memory. So utakachujaribu kuringa kwa kunywa mara wiki. Yule Matiko. Ndio sasa ama utakacha usije uanze kuokota makaratasi waseme eti sisi ndio tumekufanya hivyo.
So the good thing is I can give you work, man. I can employ. Unataka kazi? Yeah, I can employ him.
Okay, well and good. What do you want?
I can give you a job, man, at my home. I have so many jobs to be done. And I can give you a job and I can be paying you per month. Unaweza fanya?
What I want to do, what we want to do, we want to help this young man. Let it be an example for this village.
Yeah.
If you have any job that you can employ him, even you don't need to ask him because he's jobless.
Yeah, exactly. You know? But you have to understand and you have to get the assessment from him.
First of all, no. This is now is divide and rule. We want to cure this issue once and for all. We are not going to sympathize with you. We want to put in, because a kind of a subscriber who sent us to Nairobi, he used a lot of money, sincerely speaking.
Yeah.
So Matiko to come back in this place. So if Matiko will go back to alcoholism again, that is that money could be even used for other things.
Exactly.
Even the subscriber who supported him to come back home, it will annoy her.
Exactly.
You know. So let us be close to this Matiko.
Exactly. On Monday, Jumatatu we kuja home. Nakupatia mboga, nakupatia job, tupige job. So I'll be taking care of.
Okay,
to make sure that everything's
you
so
just
good.
take care of
Exactly.
everything, but even me, I will be coming to check up on you.
Exactly.
I will nitakuwa na kutafuta because sisi saa hii sasa tutaki mchezo na hii maisha. And also, you know, Devi went and admitted him as a mental person.
Oh.
They never admitted him as
It's not an alcoholic guys to change.
Devi went and admitted. If we will meet, I will show you those papers. Devi went and admitted him as a mental person. So
Has a mental challenge.
Exactly, and I know he has no those mental challenges.
Exactly. Because he was working and he was employed there to ride a motorbike to the Congrats. That I understand. How can you be employed while you are just mentally challenged?
So that's why I'm saying that even the land that Matiko sold to Devi, how can you purchase a land to a mental person? Because he went and admitted him there that he's a mental person. I want to tell Devi, whatever he's watching, I know he'll watch this video. We are going to claim that land because the mental person sold that land to you. You know? So we have papers, we have documents from the hospital clarifying.
He was mentally challenged.
Exactly. You know? So if he's a mental, how can you allow a mental person to sell for you a property?
That's where the problem comes.
How?
So guys, the good fact is we are getting the real fact from the ground here to understand and assessment, to understand what's really happening to the ground, and we want to be helping him to make sure that we're just out of this kind of the zagas of just heterozagas here and there, shagarabagara, telenovelas. But we're going to be solidizing it today, and today is today, tomorrow going to be another day. So as far as everything is in concern, so Matiko sasa umesikia. Prescription iko hapo ya vidonge, we chapa vidonge, then on Monday. So today is Idri, and we're going to be having on Saturday, Sunday. On Monday come, then we shall have this kind of the
and
work.
Then another
continue.
thing that I want to say here, because I think we are here, all family, including everybody. The subscriber who supported me, he supported me to go and bring Matiko back home.
Yeah.
I want you to take it to your head, Matiko, that I don't have any money, as in that remained for you that I want to give you, so that you can know, so that hii kitu isilete
much of the people just come out and talk about, you know, if you are given money to go and bring him home, so much of the money maybe remained and this and this. Yeah, we understand such kind of.
The subscriber who supported this issue, we were doing things
systematically. Exactly. And according to how the papers are reading.
And when I reached there, I went, I processed everything. We received the bill. The bill was 96,000. Can you imagine, Ginto? This guy, he went admitted, he paid only administration money, only 25,000, only on administration. Since that time, he has never paid even a cop. And the doctor, they have been calling these people to go and take Matiko for almost now. This guy,
I heard it was on 7th April.
He wanted to come out on April 7th. But you can see that period, he came from rehab. He has passed more than 2 wards. And you know, when you are admitted each and every day, one single day, 1,000. 1,000.
Kenya shillings.
Kenya shilling. On that wall.
So the question I wanted to ask is, right now in the village, if you can have such kind of a person who has mentally challenged, or a person who wants to go and reduce the liquor consumption and so as it can just be oriented. So it means that the family will be the one which will be taking care of the guy.
The family, you know, right now even Shah is doing. And I was surprised because the doctor, they were calling the family of these people and the V to give the Shah. So that the Shah can cater that bill. Okay. If the Shah could cater that bill, even that money could not. But they never admitted him with any Shah.
Talk about no cards who are accepted. Talk about the paying cards. So they recommended the cash money. It's the way whenever you are going to the hospital, they're asking you cash or card. And whenever you say it's cash now, they're going to be now calculating the cash. It will be so high.
David said cash.
Yeah.
Now if it's cash, they admitted him cash. We tried even to plead with them if even they can cut out for us even something small.
So the fact is one. The fact is one here. So when you went there, weren't you given much of the talk about? They could just be giving you much of the headache time talking about you need the people who admitted the guy.
When we went there, even they were very happy to see us there so that we can take my young man because he has been finished.
Oh.
You know, they were like, we have been calling the family of this young man to come and pick him and to pay this of a kind of a bill. And before we go, the first day I came here, we sat here with my with Gogo,
the mom. Huh?
The mom. I called the hospital. Sindio Gogo. Tulipigia yule daktari. Yeah, the doctor told us the amount that the bill, how much the bill. Yeah. They told us it was 96. There were remaining some to hit around 97 or 98 there. So I think David did very bad to go and admit only without even telling them that this person, his background is very different.
Yeah.
You know, you can take someone.
So the good fact that I always see here, it's in a way that it was like a trap whereby it was admitted to make sure that now they're going to be talking about now we need money. They'll have to cut a plot again and talk about now sell me the plot to get him out.
Yeah,
and that's why the mom was complaining that, oh, I've gone to David Jr.'s home every time now and again, and she was not given any kind of a response that, okay, she was told with David Jr. that, okay, mama, I'll just bring him home. I'll bring him home. But to an esquam is that they were just needing the money to compile. Then they'll come and talk about, guys, they need more than $1,000 they need around this kind of the money so they can just come out.
Because on adding on top on that, because if that land Matiko sold to the V80 something, and the bill is more than 90. And what do you think? What can it ring to your head? And remember, some months they were coming and going. Yeah. Definitely, they wanted the land of Matiko.
That is it. That's what I'm telling you. They will just have to sell the land to them, so they can just. And this is the land grab already, and this is the village of land grab right now, and it's over hot cake right now. Everybody talk about I want to be in that kind of the village, and I want to buy as large as land as it's possible because of talking about they're gonna be coming to the people like Matiko. They talk about this kind of the people are just a liquor people. They're this way, so I want to make sure that we can just give them this kind of the thing, and we take over the game. But right now the things are going to be changing at this kind of the way, and we have to talk about everything has to be prompted very equally. So I appreciate the person who ever cutted for Matiko to come back home, and also that is a very kudos and also a congratulations to that kind of the very best moment for you using Ernest to make it happen. And wherever you are just making it happen there, I was making it happen here also.
I came
because I understand that whenever you could just be coming, so why could he be sleeping at this kind of the range? So I had to make sure that everything's so fantastic. So again, I have some a little bit money because the banks today is the Eid of this kind of the Islamic people. So I'm gonna be making sure tomorrow gonna be another day. I'm gonna be coming again to make sure they're gonna be coming to visit and see what's gonna be happening tomorrow. And on Monday, I've guaranteed you a job, permanent job, and it will be payable per month.
Mesikia?
Food is not a problem.
Uende kwa gintu kazi, takuwa na kulipa kila mwezi, sawa? So ujishughulisha at least usirudi kwa pombe. Unaona vile watu wanakupenda.
Exactly.
Watu wanakupenda, yani sijui because ukiona kama subscriber mwenye alinituma kwenda Nairobi from nowhere. You know,
exactly.
Mungu, it's God.
That's a good nature and people love you, man. So angalia vile utafanya maneno isonge mbele.
Na ukirudi kukunywa pombe utaokota makaratasi hapa na uliambiwa vile ulisikia na nakusisitizia.
You should not go back.
Hata isifike kwako ibintu vya oratora. Ama nataka kuwe crazy.
So nobody wants everybody to be crazy. Exactly. Guys, we have just come to the brim point of this kind of the video, at this kind of the rate. And we're going to be having a little bit of a chit chat here. And I have much of the videos coming already. And we're going to be tangling and making sure that everything going to be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. And this is the subject we're going to be handling here and making it happen at this kind of the rate. So Matiko, kila kitu iko fit, yeah? Safi. Lakini haki ya Mungu hapa.
Ako sawa?
You know, guys, every time I'm just looking at Matiko right now, my friend. Even the way it has changed. It has changed probably. Lakini maneno iko sawa, si ndio? Sasa kesho nitakuja. Niko na ni vile mabanki zimefungwa 2-3 then kesho nitakuja. Godi ndo amepata turaba 2-3 hapa kuwa na vava kidogo. Sasa nitakuja tamshtoa kesho. Guys, today we're going to be not having much of the banks here. I'm going to be having some of the 2-3 things for Godi. They've been supported a little bit to make sure that
I'm ending my video.
Exactly.
What can you say?
The good fact about beautiful people wherever you are watching this kind of the video, thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in at this kind of the fantastic time. So everything is so fantastic. Everybody was just supported Matiko to come back home. Thank you very much for your time, and also we really appreciate that kind of the good moment we have just done and to this kind of the caliber of the moment. So the good thing is keep it pushing, keep it vibing, all the people subscribing, liking and sharing. Let's keep in tuned, and this is the legacy to go, and this is the end. Exactly, guys, are back to this kind of the day. So everything is so good here, guys. That was it, and we have already solidified that one, so everything is possible. What we need is to get forward, and forwardness is what we need here. So as far as everything is in concern, we shall have to make sure that everything is coming at as the way it is, to make sure that we are just solidizing every kind of an aspect. And I like much of the people who are getting to this kind of the root, to make sure that we are helping this kind of a gentleman to revive. And also you have just had I've just promised that we're going to be making sure they're going to be employing him as a permanent work at my home there, so that he can just be working there a little bit ABCD, to have this kind of the sorts and sort this kind of an issue of liquor. And I know that is the impromptu, and I promise you guys this kind of the plot, talk about the whole of this kind of the plot belonged to Matiko's home. And already right now this kind of the crazy family has already picked this kind of the plots, and now they're just using this kind of the plots very heterozygosively, very sophisticated, and thinking about that's the way forward. But we have to understand the legitimate legacy of let us not talk about this is how it should be, and how are we going to solidize it. And I always talk about whenever I see a person who has a change, a person who talk about this is the change we're going to be doing, that is where I am always. And I appreciate the moment, because we should be there, we should be at that kind of the juncture of the moment to handle this kind of the programs once and for all. But to the real legacy, this is not a good strategy that this kind of the crazy family is using. Talk about even if a person doesn't have money, even if a person has a problem of money, and a problem in terms of why can't you understand that okay, this is the legacy. Why do you want to go and talk about now you want to expand and put much of the bill, so as we can talk about they will just not pay that kind of them, and you know the background of the family, you understand it, but you go and talk about yeah, you know, we have money, we have to put money, and I know this ABCD. No, that is not the function of the moment. Let us understand that this is the family, and how is the background of the family, how is everything being solidized, and how are we going to be holding this kind of the thing, so as we can know this is the way forward, this is the way not forward, but that's the way forward. So guys, back to the center. I'm going to be getting to my fish farm here to understand what's really popping out, because I've seen much of the terrible 2-3 things here that I never liked about, because I've already been following who is behind the scene, and I've find that much of the chemicals are at this kind of the juncture of my fish ponds here, which is not very much fantastic here. So we have this kind of the stuffs here. Somebody was washing much of it's called the lime, and to my fish ponds here, and it is just a very coefficient here, and it's very harmful to the fish farm here. You can even see the white stuffs here. So somebody came here to talk about this is the way you're gonna be doing. I don't know why much of the people have this kind of the problem. You can even see, I don't know why this kind of the people have this kind of the problem. Two fish ponds here, I think they're gonna be having a problem. Look at this one here. So I don't know what really was just being it was like it was poured. It's like a powder that was being thrown inside here. So it means that they are just throwing through this kind of an area. I know we have a problem. We have a problem in terms of handling this kind of the 2-3 things here. And I understand it's because of the fear, and also talk about the jealousy, the ego that much of the people are going to be having. But at this kind of the moment I talk about, we have to have a change. And already have 2-3 ladies here. Hey, welcome. Hey. Come closer, come closer. They have been part of the team, and they have been part of the program since yet, and today we have them here, and this is the area I am to make sure that I'm going to be supporting the young talents, also talk about people who want to make it, and that is the way of getting forward. Welcome. Hi.
Hi.
It has been a long way and a long time.
Yeah,
since we came to wash the river here. Where have you been?
I've been just in the village.
In the village?
Yeah.
So even I had to change it your name.
And 002.
And 002.
Yeah.
Why did you change the name before we get to the brim point?
Because these are, I was Queen Nyabohanse.
You are
It
called
was,
yourself Queen Nyabohanse.
Yeah, it was Nyabohanse made me to be. Let me just.
Why
change
did you
my
change the
name. I
name?
just decided to change the name because of many issues that
Concerning Nyabohanse. So, do you think that your name was carrying the baggages of Nyabohanse?
No, I just decided to change my name from Queen Nyabohanse to Ann 002.
Ann 002.
Yeah.
So right now, how is the channel right now? Guys, I think you have ever seen her. She was part of the lady who was advising much of the ladies like Obasa. And also we were in that kind of the strategy. I was having a seat down there when we were just coming at this kind of the position. And already I've just, whenever I came here, they have whenever they hear Gintu is coming, they have to make sure that they just coming as speed as possible so as they can just be linked a little bit here. So I don't live where I always talk about whenever I have stepped, I don't leave that kind of an area. So back to you again. So right now, how do you call yourself right now?
I'm Ann 002.
Ann 002.
Yeah.
And right now, how is your channel?
My channel is just growing slowly by slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everything is possible.
Yeah, everything is possible.
So, all right, guys, I can just remember there's a time that we talked about we're going to be giving out much of the sanitary needs. And she was part of the program during that time. So right now, have you changed?
I have not changed.
You have not changed.
Yeah.
So you are putting everything to how
Together.
it is. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm putting everything together.
Yeah.
Then I think there is a holiday.
So what are you doing right now?
Just cooking content.
Cooking content.
Yeah.
It's going to be called a cooking content, or it's going to be called
A village.
a village life.
Village life.
Exactly, village life.
Yeah.
So what do you like cooking?
I just like cooking like our traditional food, like brown ugali,
Brown ugali.
small fish. What do you call saga?
And saga is called something like witchcraft there. It has some name like witchcraft. Yeah, it's a sure.
Mixed with blood. Have you ever eaten
Blood?
Blood, cow blood.
Hey, that's blood I'm talking about. So you cook the greens with the blood.
Yeah, that's cow blood.
So which kind of a color is gonna be coming out?
Very smart.
Guys, have you
color.
ever tasted such kind of a meal? Even right now, the appetite is gone.
No, it's
How
not.
do you mix?
You just boil the blood. No, you boil the saga.
You boil the greens.
The greens. Then you take that blood on how do you call it?
Wait first. Guys, we're going to be introduced in a new recipe because we always talk about in the kitchen premises, we always have recipes are always coming different. Yeah. And at this kind of the moment, I'm going to be talking about this is a new recipe that's going to be coming. So let's get from her. But me, I'm not convinced because I'm a chief chef. Let me hear from her. Let's get about a little bit of the village cook that she's going to be talking about here. So we have, you have brown ugali, we have the greens, and also we have the blood.
Yeah.
So I think the balanced diet, it's balanced. There are some iodines and some ions are so much in that kind of the food. I understand because of the blood.
But I'm talking about the cow.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Because the blood has so much of the ions here.
Yeah, the
so
blood.
somebody is calling me,
So,
but I'm going to be calling her.
You
But
just boil your greens where you have already stewed that blood. Then you put it in the green. You will come and see the method in my...
Guys, I'm not convinced.
Why are you?
I swear I'm not convinced. That recipe is how is it? What do you know that I'm a good chief chef whenever it comes to that one?
Yeah,
And what I can tell you is that I know that whenever you start talk about that kind of the blood you're talking about, the cow, the fresh one, so it should be salted. So that salt will make it not to just talk about bond together, so it can be something which is bond like fermented milk. So as whenever you stir, it will be so efficient in terms of making sure that you will just boil it, not even boiling, you'll just fry it.
You just fry
Yeah, you have to fry it. So you are telling me that you have to pour blood in greens like milk?
No, not like milk. There is a
method.
Yeah,
that method is what I need. Tell me how that kind of... Guys, we are getting this kind of the recipe and we have to get it today. I like to hear about that kind of a recipe. How is it? So after do you cook good the greens? Talk about you have already sorted them out. because they're gonna be fried and sorted out.
Then
Talk
you
about
fry
using
that.
only onions and also cooking oil. Then you stir fry the greens. They're called stir frying because the shallow. It's like a very quick way of getting there, because so as we cannot lose that kind of the vitaminity. Too much hitting the vitamin oriented food, it will lose the vitaminity. You understand it? So when you are talking about you have to boil the greens, do you mean that the vitaminity will ever exist, or you are just now eating like whenever you are eating the greens, it will be like you are eating husks?
But you have already got the nutrients in the body.
Which kind? Because now you are eating like something which is a green, which doesn't have anything. I understand, because do you know that I was good in terms of science congress?
Yeah, I know.
So
that.
when I was in high school, I was doing science congress. And it was cooking science congress. That kind of a science congress, the practical I was given to do, it was having much of the vitaminity. So one of the judges, the adjudicators, they told me that, why do you boil the greens? Do you think that whenever you boil them, they will not lose the vitaminity? Then I talked about, no, that's the traditional. No, bro, we don't have the traditional here. And we know the traditional, it ever exists. So tell us your new way of cooking it. That's the new way. And that's why always I tell you, sometimes we have new technologies and new ways of cooking, new recipes every day. There's a formulation of a new recipe of cooking. Guys, I have to orient them so they can just know whenever they're going to be coming out to cook. They have to make sure that they are coming out to cook something very authentic so that people can even watch. So how is your views?
My views, they're just growing.
They're just growing.
Yeah.
So I want you to start a unique chapter of cooking something very mythical. Come and I write for you. Sometimes don't talk about, okay, I'll go to Gintu. Gintu is somehow busy. Tell me that, oh, Gintu, I want to cook something. And I'll ask you. Or you can tell me that, Gintu, today I don't have something to cook. Can you write me a recipe of whatever you think I can cook? And I can ask you, which kind of the budget do you have? How much money do you have? So I can just write a budget to make sure that for how many people, we call it in catering, we call it covers. How many people do you want to eat that food? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it has to have how many covers? Talk about covers. You say covers.
Yeah.
Say covers.
Covers.
Covers. What is covers? No, okay. Now I have to ask a question. What is covers?
Okay, I think covers is like how many people we
Exactly. How many people are going to be eating that food? That is the covers that are going to be covered with that food. That's what is called covers. And also, how do you arrange that meal experience? How do you serve that food? You should show them. Okay, this is how we gather the recipe. Talk about they're called ingredients. This is how we gather this kind of the foodstuffs. And now we want to cook it. So we want to start this way. Now, guys, I have to lit the jiko. You understand? After lighting the jiko, here, guys, we don't have talk about. We have the temporary ones. We have to put the charcoal, or we have to put inside some of the burning boxes. They fire the charcoal. Then we do the pepeta. It's called winnowing. It's like winnowing in the wind to come. And now the charcoal burns. Okay, guys, the charcoal ready, or the jiko ready. Yeah. Now we talk about these are the foodstuffs we're gonna be cooking today. So follow my journey, so as we can just see how we cook it in traditional way. Do you have a pot or use sufuria?
Okay, I have a pot.
You have a pot.
Yeah.
A pot also, guys, we have this kind of the pot. Sometimes the people who did catering and accommodation, a pot also is a sufuria. So when you hear somebody talking about, even if it's a Mzungu asking you that, you are cooking, which kind of the pot are you using? You talk about, no, the traditional pot. You never understand it. A pot is also, a sufuria is a pot also. Okay. So in the books, you should write not a sufuria. Sufuria is not an English name. A pot is an English name, exactly. Okay. So the good facts now are going to be talking about now. You have talked about this and this and then these are the pots are going to be using. And this is the ingredient. I want to be using this kind of the cooking oil because of this and that. Why did you select that cooking oil? Do you know that there are people who are having diabetic, there are people having this and then this, 2-3 things that they don't know, go hand in hand with such kind of the cooking you're talking about. There are people having the problem. And tell us, whenever you're going to be serving these 4 people, is anyone who have any kind of a complication? Maybe somebody doesn't use milk. Maybe they have brucellosis. There's somebody who doesn't use this cooking oil. We have avocado oil, we have castor oil, we have so much oil. Arianto oils, olive oil. So which kind of the oil are you using? So you can know. Do you know even that oil examines the person who's going to eating it? You know, in the tradition, we can always come out and talk about guys, we are cooking, pour inside the cooking oil, which kind of the cooking, no one has to know that one. You're going to be having, how is it called, cholesterol, no problem, let's get forward. So when you want to be a good one, and I'm just advising you because I'm good in terms of it, and one day I'll do it so you can just see that kind of the video. So the good fact is we have to assessment people who are just going to be eating it, and how are they having any kind of the challenges whenever they eat that one, and also what kind of a substitute for a person who doesn't eat, so you can just know, is it a vegetarian, is he not a vegetarian, so how are they? So tell us the covers, and from there now you have to prepare the food. How do you prepare it? How the heat content you are using, is it high heat, low heat, medium heat? Such kind of the specific foods I'm talking about. Every food has its own temperature of heating.
Yeah.
Exactly. So whenever you just make it happen, I'm promising you, you'll have a bigger time to go. And I promise you that one. So the good fact is one day write me a recipe. I'll write you from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You'll do that one? So are you convinced now?
Yeah.
So the one that you are doing, telling us that pour blood into the greens, I'm not convinced with that one. It's like now you're telling us pour milk, add a little bit of a stretch of a moment, or add a little bit milk content in the greens.
Even on explaining in English, the way is very
No, it's not. How did you select now to do it? That's why now we get a failure. That's why we get a failure. And that's why you see, you start complaining, oh, people are not watching my videos, because they're not convinced. You are cooking now like a traditional way. Now you are cooking like how everybody used to cook. Show them something different. And also your environment. Make sure, one thing, your environment is as clean as possible.
Yeah.
Do you have, I want to be asking you a question, only one question. Do you have a service towel?
Yeah, I have.
You have a service towel?
Yeah.
Where do you put it?
Towel.
Whenever you're using
I
it?
do
Or you're
wash
using it to wipe the...
No. No, when I finish with working with the serviette towel, I just wash it. And
We have kitchen towel and we have service towel.
So what have you asked?
I'm asking about, do you have service towel?
Yeah, service towel are those for
Which one?
washing hands.
No.
Those are
Service
the
towel, those are just the serviettes. We have kitchen towel and we have service towel. The service towel is always put at the arm of your hand, and it's like a towel but a smaller than a towel. It's a bigger than a handkerchief. But so talk about it's a cottonious cloth. And also we have kitchen towel. It's the one that we're going to be talking about, like a serviette but longer than a serviette. Yeah, exactly. And you can use it in the kitchen to wipe whatever, talk about the working spaces and such kind of a way. So the good thing is, if you want to be doing something very constructive, and I'm advising you, and you're going to be making it, tomorrow is another day. You'll never know what's going to be coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you cannot imagine, I'm going to be opening a catering team, and you might be oriented in, if you make it happen, because I have to look at the sanitation.
Yeah.
What always much of the people look at. You cannot talk about, guys, I want to go and start cooking, and you are just here, and you are talking about, guys, I want to set here fire, and you want to cook such kind of an environment. It will be so awkward and pathetic. Even you understand how it comes.
Yeah.
So for you to make it happen, make sure that you are orienting yourself where possible. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Exactly. So make sure that you are knowing what you want to do at that perspective time and make it happen. So never lose hope. Never. And never talk about, oh, people are never watching. Your time is coming. Right now, do you understand that if you want to have money, do you know that money you're going to be having right now, or talk about right now you don't have much money, Not that you don't have money. You don't have much money right now. But do you know that whenever you're going to be start having money, it's somebody getting, somebody is now losing money, you are getting money. That wealth is coming from somebody, is now losing it, you are now getting it. God is balancing.
Amen.
So if your time gonna be coming, let it come and let you shine and make it happen. I don't like, you understand the time that, guys, I'm telling you that as a fact. And I think that's why I asked you a question. Have you changed? Did you get me why I said it?
My name.
No, not your name. What made me to talk about I have to leave you in a little bit, and why am I right now talking about you have to improve your style? I understand. There's a time we started doing shagara-bagara things east, west, and south. You understand, eh? So that's why the last time we met with it was shagara-bagara here and there, and we talked about let her a little bit change the attitude and aptitude at that kind of the moment, and we have to make sure that you're coming. So right now, focus, eh?
Yeah.
Exactly, focus. So it's either you make sure that you are making this A, making B, C, D. Now you are good, eh?
Yeah, I'm
fantastic.
good.
Yeah. So are you convinced?
No, I'm not convinced.
You continue laughing. You'll come to understand what I'm talking about. Guys, I have to lecture them sometimes so as they can understand the way of getting forward. I have another lady here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I've recognized your presence.
Yeah.
Everything is good?
It's okay.
How is mom?
Mom is good.
Guys, the mom always visits the mom, and she's gonna be having a little bit of a problem, and I always help them in the village to make sure they're gonna be making it happen. Greet her, tell her, even yesterday, it was yesterday, I carried her to Nyabuanse. Yeah, I got her lift to Nyabuanse. I remember she was going for the fundraising. There's a funeral around here. They were just going for the fundraising. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time and accompanying our 002 with you. Yeah, exactly. So guys, my fish pond here is breaking like safari rally, and right now, hey, even here we are having a problem. So the fish pond is breaking. Even right now we have like it's gonna be called here an island. It has already broken and it's just getting inside the fish pond here, which is becoming a very big problem right now, and it's because of too much rain.